Doing, Cam?
I'm great. I'm glad I get to be on your show. Now you're just doing big things now.
You know what, Cam? We're just only know one speed around here. You know what I mean? I just want to match you in longevity and excellence and all that good stuff. But it's good to see you.
Sir, you have the longevity. Don't ever take that away.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I guess you're the OG. I'm just old.
You're the senior, as they would put it.
Okay. That's a little offensive, but I understand. It's good to see you, man. Okay, so are you happy Rodgers took his time, because it kind of worked out? You know what I mean? Like kind of worked out for you right now, Cam. Game one, one game in.
Hey, a little reverse psychology there. Kind of poked the bear, and then he found his way to the Steelers.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's what you're talking about, right? 4 touchdown passes, using whatever chip he had on his shoulder to his and your advantage. And off you go. What was that like from your perspective, Cam?
Man, it was like watching a conductor compose an offense, or an orchestra, and it was just amazing. Like, he would communicate, he would get guys lined up, but the thing I was hearing from the offense was he was never rattled. And when you have a guy who's very seasoned and has been doing it a long time, he's gonna make everybody, he's gonna show out and make sure everybody shows out with him. And
how does that permeate a team and a sideline in a game throughout a week?
I think it just allows you to, keep battling on defense. I know we didn't have our best game, but to have an offense that was just even keel and match points for points, sometimes get us for lead, and then keep battling back throughout the entire game. We just knew we had to get stops late. And when you do that and have that confidence in your offense, that just makes you a complete team. And, in this game, it's not always going to be the defense dominating. It's not always going to be the offense dominating. It's a mixture of both and having each other's backs in those moments.
And what can you tell us inside here, Cam, that about narratives, man? You have a podcast of your own. You've been in the league for a decade and a half. That Rodgers doesn't work well with others, that it's his way or other. I know you just furrowed your brow, but listen, honestly, that he needs it to be his way alone. And now he's joined a Steelers system that looks like he's very comfortable in. So what do you say to anybody that says, well, it's just a matter of time till it's the other way around? What do you say about that?
You look at his way, and it's the Steeler way. It's about being accountable. It's about doing things on and off the field that prepares you for the game. If you can't roll with that, you shouldn't be on the field. I think I've really enjoyed watching him, the way he prepares, the way he challenges guys, and then he challenges himself. There's no lack of accountability there. And so when you look at that side of the ball, having that all the way through, I can respect that. Every one of our teammates can respect that. And it breeds competition, it breeds getting better, and it breeds a better team.
Cam Heyward here on the Rich Eisen Show. You referenced it yourself about not the defense's best day. What can you tell Steeler fans about that day and how you're coming out of that day?
Hopefully it's a hiccup. We can move past it. I think as a defense, we're just raring to get back on the field. A lot to answer for, but hey, I'd rather have a win last week and be able to talk about our problems than have a loss and just, say we played okay. So more ball we played. We got 17 games. We've already played 1, so we're at 16. So there's more room to, let our work speak for itself.
And Jalen Ramsey was lowering booms, man. He was hitting people, and it caused a little bit of a moment, to say the least. But what is
I think it was the best moment. The end of the half, he gets chippy, and I think it kind of galvanized the defense a little bit.
Yeah.
We love when we're chippy, and sometimes you need to just, break it open a little bit. And after that, I felt like we played a lot of better ball in the second half. And then I just love football in its poetic ways that led to Jalen Ramsey making a game-winning tackle that, dislodged the ball out of Garrett Wilson's hands.
And again, I learned from my guy Sapp all those years on game day morning, front and back end of the defense must play together. And it's all one big organism on defense. What did you get out of game one from that with Jalen Ramsey now policing back there with the rest of the crew, Cam?
I think, you can't just pass the ball quick and think it's an easy, way to get some yards. Whether it's you take your time and we get a chance to rush, or, Jalen or Slay making some big plays. One play that's not talked about enough, Derrick Slay, I think it was on the 2-point conversion. He came off of his coverage and knocked that out of bounds, saved 2 points on the board. So you look at our score, we win 34-32. That's one of those big moments we don't talk about enough, but having guys like that on the back end that, help our front end is going to go a long way in the future.
And then one last one on week one. What was it like in the locker room afterwards for that one?
It was special, because it wasn't a perfect game, especially on defense, but having a kicker who kicks a 60-yarder to win it, that's special. Having an offense continue to just go through a shootout and put up points, and then a defense that made plays late. We appreciate these moments because they're far from few, and when you have guys that do it in different ways and are able to bounce each other out and overcome bad mistakes, that makes for a great win.
Fresh off of a week one victory, prior to which you worked something out with the Steelers on a contract. I know that you were looking for one, and I know it's year 15. You know it's a business. Are you copacetic here? Are your page turned? You're happy? What do you term yourself right now?
Page is turned. Okay. I'm glad I can put this to bed a little bit. The opportunity is there to earn some more money, but I got to play my game. I got to be, at the top of my game, and I like it that way. And anyone who has a problem with that, and you don't have a problem with me getting more sacks and make it to the playoff, that's a problem. So I'm looking forward to hitting those incentives.
Well, I mean, can you give voice to I think you kind of just alluded to that right there, is how it's viewed by fans outside looking in for some people. How money equals respect, certainly for somebody who's done it for as long as you. Do you want to give voice to that concept? Yeah. After we saw Micah balling out last night for Green Bay again in just 2 games, and what he was standing firm in his beliefs and things like that, contractual situations, Cam?
Yeah, just, we have a limited time to do it. And when you're at the top of your game and you're respected around the league, you want to be respected by your franchise. And looking at the Micah situation, I think everybody's kicking themselves that they couldn't come to an agreement, because that dude has been balling since he's gotten to Green Bay. And, it's going to make a lot of people scratch their heads like, dang, we couldn't just get this done earlier. I'm happy to say I'm still a one helmet guy. I have the benefit of working with an organization that, takes care of their players. And
then, what'd you think of, you want to put your podcaster's hat on, Micah, and what he adds to Green Bay? Because I'm sure, you're keeping an eye on that game. You're going to see Green Bay, and obviously that is going to be a massive game for your quarterback that makes whatever chip he may have had on his shoulder in MetLife look like a very, very, very small pebble. So what do you see when you're looking at the Green Bay Packers on Thursday night and Micah's addition to that defense, Cam?
Well, first, I have to make sure I get Aaron booked for that week. So going into the podcast, I can show that.
Very good. McAfee might help you out of the way. You know what I mean, Cam? I mean, you might be in the second position there. You never know. But hey,
I don't know. I might have to beat you to it.
Okay, very good. No, you got McAfee there standing there too. But all good, man. So you have the floor. Go for it.
Yeah, I just think when you look at Green Bay, they are a sound football team. They got wide receivers for days. You have the matchup Aaron Rodgers versus Love, and so that's going to be a duel there. But I'm going to have my questions ready for that podcast. I'm going to make sure Aaron's well in tuned and ready to talk a lot of stuff.
I bet. And what'd you think of when you heard Jerry say, Micah is great. We loved having him, but we needed to stop the run. What did you, as somebody who can stop the run on the way to the quarterback, think of something like that, Cam?
I love Kenny Clark, and I think he's going to be a big value to their team. But the one thing I worry about, you say you got to stop the run. Did they stop the run? And so that's my only concern with that. You could. I wouldn't just say Micah Parsons is the reason we couldn't stop the run. So if you think a trade is going to do that, I think that's a little incomplete.
Do you talk to DK Metcalf this week about his reunion? Is that something that you go up, you address, you don't, you just know? What about that, Cam?
Oh, DK is raring at the bit. He already told me he's got like 20 tickets for this game, so he's got people coming. He was a little booked this week, so I'm planning on having him on next week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure my guest booker gets on top of that. But
somebody just got pointed out. Okay, all right, I got it. Hey, and sometimes it's better to have the guest on after to react to what happened than just a preview. You know
my
what I mean?
guy, talking the game. I love it.
Yeah, it's not my first rodeo. But do you say something to DK? Does he wear it on his sleeve at all this week? It goes unsaid. What is it like around his parts for this week?
It doesn't go unsaid, but the way DK works, you don't have to worry about that. He is very relentless when he steps on the field, and the way he prepares. He's added a lot to our wide receiver group of how to work. I put him in that same category of like an Antonio Brown, where they would work relentlessly, and you'd be like, "Man, does this dude ever get tired?" So he's just chomping at the bit. But we want to make sure we play the petty ball, and so we want to make sure we reward our guy.
And how's Derrick Harmon doing? Not to turn you into an information individual in the NFL, but obviously this is a rookie that was drafted to be right there with you on the line, and he got hurt in the preseason. Is he close to coming back? You going to get him soon?
We'll see. I am not a doctor, so I cannot say for sure, but I'm excited about his future. That's a kid that I think is going to have a really successful career. He works extremely hard. He plays with good pad level. He's strong, and he wants to be great. And so when you have a kid like that, you want to make sure you give him every opportunity. And I keep telling him, once you get on that field, it's going to happen. So once he's healthy, he'll be out there and he'll be able to ball. Okay. So I guess the end of November, your guests on your pod, Jack Sawyer, Will Howard, you're going to have those guys? Who else are you going to have? Or should we get you back? Oh, please. That might be fun to talk about. Do you really want a piece of me that week, Cam? Hey, man, we just want a pound of flesh. That's all we want. Well, I mean, it's been a while. You did personally hang on the same field and try to stop the last quarterback wide receiver combination to beat Michigan. You saw them first right there in front of you in week one. And that was 2019. Well, I did mess with Jack, though. I told Jack, I said, we come from the same cloth, but I never had someone plant a flag on my field. So, yeah, I know. But I saw him on your pod, Cam. I saw him on your pod talking about some play that they'd never run, and it's really odd. Connor Stallions got offended by that, too. That was hilarious. By the way, he could go away, and I would never miss anything about him. Okay, but I'm like, I didn't understand. Though. Maybe you can help me here. So Jack's saying we had never run that play before, and they stopped it because we never run it on the was he saying they'd never run the play before, or just not in that part of the field at that down and distance before? And it was really odd that Michigan was able to stop a play that they had never run before. And I'm like wondering if this was all about shooting someone's sidelines and get the signals to match up with the film of a play that was put on film. How would we have been able to stop a play that they'd never run before? I don't understand. That didn't compute, I think it's a combination of that, and then the fact that there was a check to that play. Okay. And so, but a play they've never run before. And you have a check for it. That's interesting. But they never run it before. So why would there be a check for something they hadn't seen or hadn't hired somebody to sit in a seat to shoot someone else's sideline to correspond with that play, the hand signal, so you'd know what to check to? I don't understand. All I know is you should have been on the documentary for Netflix when they were exploring Connor Stallion's point of view. Oh my God, I'm happy to push back on any point of view on this front, Cam. So I'm happy to come on. How about you bring Jack on and I'll be there too? You know what I mean? Like, let's do this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm all for stoking the fire. Right now, I'm wearing the color pants he doesn't have. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've got on right now, because those are the pants. Those are tight pants. Well, it's as gold pants as I've got. So I'm just pointing this stuff out. But, okay. I always love chatting with you, Cam.
I always love chatting.
I love
with
you too, buddy.
Hey, buddy, congrats on year 15. You're feeling good? Like
feeling great.
Cold tubs? You're good. We're good. Coming out of.
We got to do a cold tub together. How about that?
Whoa.
You know, this is an offline conversation. But say hi to everybody out there for me in Steeler country. Good to.
I will.
I wish I had that game in Ireland, man. But it's gonna be Joe Davis and Greg Olson for the Fox crew on NFL Network. I'll be there. I'll be there as a studio holder in Los Angeles. That's going to be great. That scene's going to be awesome. I know that's down the road, and you got one at a time right now. But enjoy that, and we'll chat down the line.
Sounds good. I'll take pictures for you.
Please do. I'd love it. Send it to us. Cam Heyward, everybody, fresh off of a 1-0 start in New Jersey, getting ready for the Seattle Seahawks right here on the Rich Eisen Show. There goes Cam.